This short talk is going to be about finding clients, and I wonder if I can have a quick show of practice. Who runs a business, or would like to run a business, or even part-time, provides services like web design services or WordPress development? Okay, and who has published a blog post in the last 7 days? Very good. So my name is Cubbon. I was a graphic designer in 2005, and so I wasn't a web designer. And I set up an HTML static site, and that was very difficult. It took hours and hours and hours. And I set up WordPress because somebody told me to. And I wrote a few blog posts that were a few lines long, and forgot about it for a year. And then in 2006. I realised from my analytics that my 3 crappy blog posts had more traffic than my static HTML pages. And I thought, well, that's really amazing. So I started writing blog posts, one of which was about how to make PDF with Adobe InDesign. And I got a phone call from a client a few months later saying, would you like to do this for us? And I started my business that way. So I just want us to think about how we can improve our sites and traffic to our sites in order to get more clients. So if we get more clients, we can improve our work, because we can get rid of the crappy clients, the tire kickers. And one of the things I think we can think about is our keywords with buying intent. And I've got a few examples up there. And these are things like graphic design in London. And are there words you can think of that people would key in to search engines to find you if you want new clients? And can you think of places in London, if you're not in Finchley, for example, a graphic designer, a web designer in Finchley might be a better idea, reason, anything to target with your titles on your website. Because if your name is Leslie Offelthwaite and you have leslieoffelthwaite.com, your title of your website should be what? I would say not Leslie Offelthwaite. I'm assuming you're not called John Smith or something like that. I would call yourself freelance WordPress developer London to give your potential clients more of a likelihood of finding you through searches. And it doesn't end there, because you can put these keywords with buying intent into your blog post titles. And this is something that's worked very well for me. So there's a few examples there. The middle one is how much does a freelance WordPress web developer charge? You could write a blog post about that. You don't have to give away your prices, but you are an expert. You can easily write a blog post about that, and that could come up in a search from a potential client who is using those keywords because they have buying intent, because they are looking for a freelance web designer and they want to know how much it costs. So a general point about blogging, I'm sure this is an obvious point, to always be very specific with your blog post subjects and titles. If you look at the 2 examples here, of course, how to run a business, that's not very interesting. It's not very clickable. You wouldn't share it on social media unless it was written by someone who you really respect and admire. So how to run a WordPress web design business would be something that a lot of people could write a very good blog post about. And it could come up in searches for clients, potential clients that you could hopefully snag. So next thing I'd like to say, which I'm sure you will realise, is to always help other web designers, always help other WordPress developers. I'm sure you all do that, but it works on so many levels. And obviously you help people and they might give you your work sometime, but I would write very in-depth tutorials about, like what Graham was talking about then, and helping people like that on your website. And then you can get clients who are looking to solve a particular problem or do that particular task, they would find that blog post and then get in touch with you as a result. Because if you blogged about something, you were seen as an expert. It automatically gives you authority because you are on there putting yourself out. In the same way as if you publish a Kindle book, you're a published author. And that gives you authority. And I would suggest that a lot of people should move into video as well and do put your content out on other mediums, other platforms, and in video, audio, etc. Because you never know how clients can find you. The decision to use your services, your business's services, may not be a logical one. I have an example of this. A client of mine used me because she saw me talking to a woman on YouTube. It was a YouTube video, obviously, but it was on my site. And she felt as though I was the person she wanted to do business with after having seen this video. And that's something I would never have thought about. It's not something I did to get clients, but it just shows you that if you put yourself out on these different platforms, things can happen. Obviously, I would concentrate on your company's site, primarily, blogging aspect, but also go onto other platforms like Kindle, like Cubbon and YouTube. Go local as well. Put yourself on Google Maps. If you don't know how to do this, then you can come and ask me afterwards, and I'll be happy to help you. And have a responsive website. I'm sure you all know that. So people can find you on Google Maps, go through to your website, and there's a bit of HTML there. You can click on that, and the client will call you immediately by clicking on that button. Some people just like to work with people locally. I've had that. It's just the way it is. Okay, so every website and web page should have a call to action, and make sure your call to actions are there. You may want to put your email address and phone number on the header, so it's always there. If you take away barriers from people when they're online to perform a certain action, they're more likely to perform that action. So you may like to put a call to action at the end of a blog post where you explain a task that you're particularly good at. You may like to put a call to action, again, say contact me if you need a web designer to do this for you. You may like to put a contact form at the end there. But being found online is all about authority. And you can increase your authority in a number of ways. I really would advise people to blog consistently because it helps in so many ways. It actually teaches you a lot. Because if you have to write about something, you'll find you often learn more about the subject by writing about it than you did before, because it forces you to write about it in a certain way and kind of cleans up your ideas about a certain subject. So I would advise you all to keep blogging consistently and comment on other people's blogs and make sure your blog post can be easily shared on social media and create in-depth profiles on the various social media sites. I'm sure you all do that. It doesn't take long. If somebody Googles your name and sees 10 results on the first page all about you, if you have a name like Leslie Bottomswaite, not John Smith, obviously it would be different. But that's a very good sign. It's a sign that you have an authority and people will trust you if you have an authority. People will trust you if you come up on Google searches. People will trust you more if you write a Kindle book, etc. Obviously set up Google authorship on your blog. That's very important. I'm sure you've all done that. Don't know, you can ask me. And the last thing is the most important thing ever, and it's what you're all doing tonight, and that is to forge long-term business relationships, win-win relationships. with other designers and developers, because that will help you in ways that you'll not even realise when you're making those relationships. So if you do that, you will find more clients coming your way, which will mean better work for you, and that's all I've got. Thank you very much.
I'm currently looking for a WordPress developer. What you just said is exactly what I did. Even those search terms, I'm trying to find someone local, I want someone local, I want someone I can meet up with possibly. So all those search terms are exactly the sort of thing that I, as seeking somebody, type thing. So what you said, absolutely true.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Validation for me is getting into practice. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Who is that over for?
Yeah, I know you said after, I've never heard of Google authorship.
Yeah, really important. I can't think of the first step right now. I can talk to you afterwards.
Google Plus.
First step,
Google Plus, and it's really easy to do with Ghost's WordPress SEO. You have a Google Plus ID if you have a Gmail address and you have it anyway. It's a 5-minute job.
Best one to find out to go to national business. They were paying for it.
Which site is that then?
National business. National business.
What's your business?
You watch it. Glasswood. It's run by Martin Sherberton, who's a very high up ranking person who knows about Glass. Is that the word?
Someone does.
Yeah.
Is that the word Plus or is that Plus?
Plus word. Yeah. P-L-U-S.
When you've finished and you've got it set up, Google Rich Snippets testing tool will tell you whether you've got it done right or not. That's
So I guess a few years ago I was following principles. These days I've got about 4 Google Plus IDs, 5 websites. You know, I couldn't find me. Never mind anybody else.
You're here.
The trouble is, I don't know. I think I might have to delete everything and start again.
no, well, you should have one Google Plus, Google ID.
Or 3.
You really should try and get rid of 2.
Are you sure about it?
Yeah, well, it's quite difficult to have to do. I mean, do you have a Gmail address that you use more than others?
Yes.
Oh, you got it. You got it like the one that's done, got it on go.
Do you have a Gmail address that is closest to your actual name? I think that would be one you.
I've got one which is my name, and I've got 2 more.
I'd use the one that's your name. And try to forget about the others if you can. And use Google authorship through the one with your name, definitely.
If you use Google and you have Google Plus, you have to register your domain and your mail on Google Plus of your real domain, because your real domain, if you have personal domain, obviously you can have an email with that domain. So you have to register that mail on Google Plus, so you can have more than one mail on Google Plus, and that's why you can see your picture behind your posts on Google search, and you can have to register also your domain, and every time that you post something, in the end of the post, using Google snippet something, you have to add your mail behind your name. So Google assign this post to your account Google Plus, and that's why I showed image.
I don't know if this is interesting, but yeah, so my name is my email address on Gmail.
No, your name is your name.
My name is a domain, I own that, I never used it, I just so I should start using it.
Well,
You can use your mail in Gmail anyway. You can use your personal email with your own domain on Gmail as well, using the account with another mail and so on.
I wouldn't say you don't have to use lesbianconference.com. It doesn't have to be on that. But you do need one. Google, I think, I think you can. I can talk to you later about Google.
Thanks very much, Paul.